Good evening, everyone. So just kind of jumping on here, seeing if anybody else is going to join in. Um, just talking a lot of topics today. Um, Give me 1 second. I had one of the other guys that joins us just asked, "What are we talking about tonight?" He's fixing to jump on. So give me 1 second. So he'll be joining us soon. One take. Zaya will be. Um, but while we wait for him, we'll kind of just go over some of the sports weekend. You know, we had both championship games of the men and women for the NCAA tournament. We'll break that down a little bit. We're going to get in a little portal talk. Some of the top players, other questions regarding the run the Big Ten is on now, and how that all goes, leading with the whole discussion that has been flying around with, is the Big Ten the new king? Is the SEC still the king? We'll get into that a little bit. I'm sure we're going to have some takes that you can pretty much figure out. Some may surprise you a little bit, mine especially. But we're also going to get into a question regarding what you would call the news that came out today about Fernando Mendoza in the draft. So we'll get into all that if we get anybody to join. What's up, Lawrence? I see you over there. No idea where post game is right now. I know Rob's on vacation. Moss is working. I think Zay is trying to join here in a minute. I don't know about T1 or Parlay Poe. I really thought we'd definitely hear from Parlay Poe tonight. And then we've got, of course, I sent it to our buddy Doug, the other Texas native that jumps on from time to time with us. I sent it to him to see if he was going to join, but I haven't heard any response from him. So if nobody wants to join, then I guess we'll just listen to me ramble about all these different topics and try to keep it interesting for people. Don't know how well that'll do. What's up, Doug? It'd be cool if you joined so we'd have somebody to talk to, but that's fine. I understand you might be busy. I know your daughter playing softball and stuff. I'm probably pretty sure they got a game tonight. So, Moss is trying. You're at work, Moss. Don't do nothing. Go ahead and work. We'll plow through it. It's not my normal topic to run by myself. Normally, I can take the NASCAR topics by myself, but these I definitely need some banter with, and there's some banter right there. There is the banter I needed.
What up?
You can always count on one take to come in and give his multiple takes. How's it going over there, brother?
It's only one take. You know it. What's up with you, though, bro?
You know what it is. It's just me. Just me. I'm pretty sure, you've got some pretty good takes on some of this stuff. You've got, you keep up with it real well with all these different sports. But, we're talking about just had the tournaments kick off or finish up, really. The first one we'll jump into was the women's game, man, with UCLA, and they just dominated South Carolina. I do want to give a precursor. If anybody goes and watches Sunday's show, I did predict the Big Ten sweep, even though I didn't want it. But I did predict it. So the domination from UCLA was just kind of where I wanted to start, and what you thought about the way they just, there's no other way to say it, dude. They just handled them.
Yeah, man. I hate to be that guy, man, but I kind of told people that, Gabriella Jacquez was going to be the key for me in that game. And you see, she dropped the 21 piece. She didn't get the player the Final Four or anything, which Lauren Betts received that, which was well deserved. But she was the X factor for that game, man. And you know, one thing we saw UCLA for the last couple of weeks be a dominant defensive team, and they were a dominant defensive team. Look at Poe in the building. You know, Poe
I
had to come up here,
I
man.
knew
What's up, Poe?
I knew it was going to be just a matter of a few seconds.
You already know.
I knew.
Hey, it's good to see you, man.
You already know. What's going down with you?
Man, can't call
Man,
it.
we
Tapping
making
into
it.
the South Carolina UCLA.
Oh, yeah.
Talking
But like
about
Sean, like I was saying, we seen the last couple of weeks, UCLA has been so dominant on the defensive side of the ball, man. And that just all it carried through the whole March Madness run for them. And they had another dominant performance in that game, in that final, in that championship round. But like I said, they got key contributions from, other people outside of Lauren Betts, and that's what they needed.
100% for sure. Did you catch any of that game, Pope?
Yes, I did. I watched it. It was like South Carolina was running in quicksand. I'm talking about on every aspect, UCLA beat them. On every aspect, UCLA beat them. And they played well too, man. I was impressed. I was highly impressed of UCLA.
Yeah, I agree. They looked like they were playing slow. It almost looked like, and I hate to say it, that South Carolina took Connecticut as the championship game. Like we beat the best, so we're good. But then UCLA stood up and said, "Not so fast, my friend."
Yeah.
That was a beat down that I didn't see. I thought it'd be a close game. I didn't expect that, but shout out to the Big Ten. I got to give them props. They won the football title and they won the women's title. And then, as we all know, we'll let our good friend Parlay Poe go last on this one because I'm sure he's gonna have a few things to say about that game last night. Which I'm not gonna lie, I went to bed at halftime because I'm old, and that's too late for me. Michigan claims their first title in 37 years in basketball by holding off UConn, and what turned out to be a pretty good game. The floor is yours. One take.
Man, listen, UConn, they missed a lot of shots. They had difficulty though with the size of Michigan. They couldn't guard them dudes without fouling because they're so big. Um, yeah, I mean, you could tell like it was clear cut. Michigan was a better team. So they was already playing with a leg down. Like when you go into a game like that, you got to probably play like your best game, and they didn't. They just didn't have their best game. So I mean, it was already an uphill battle for real. Shout out to Michigan, man. That's gonna probably go down now. You heard Jalen Rose say they got to win it. They won it now, Jalen Rose. I want to hear you say that's the best team in Michigan history. That's what I want to hear now. I want you to bow down and get them boys their credit because, you said 37 years. I'm not too familiar with that team. Maybe Poe can give us some looks on to that team. But man, I can't say nobody has been better than that team that I've seen. Now that they got that chip, So shout out to them boys, man, holding it down for the Big Ten. Hey, but y'all know we still don't love y'all. We still don't love y'all around this way. Hey, Paul, you hear me? I was quiet in the chat yesterday. Like I ain't giving no. Hey, shout out to y'all though, man. I gotta give credit when it's due. Maybe we can follow it up because usually when y'all do something, we decide we want to do something. You know what I'm saying? So, but shout out to them boys, man. Hey, Dusty May is a hell of a coach, man. Hell of a coach, and I'm still salty because they said we had a chance to get him. I don't know what we over there doing, So shout out to Dusty May, man. He went to the Final Four some years back with FAU. Now he there. He won it all with Michigan. You see what he can do if he can get the requisite talent, man. I think Dusty May is easily one of the top 5 to 7 coaches in college basketball, and I won't be surprised if we continue to see this Michigan program somewhere in that Elite Eight, Final Four for years to come because of Dusty May.
Yeah, but before Poe jumps off, I mean, you pretty much said a lot of it with the size. You could just tell every time Michigan fed the ball down low, UConn just hacked them immediately. That they had no chance with the size. And what's scary is from what I looked like earlier, it looked like they got quite a few players off that Michigan team coming back next year. That's pretty scary. They could run this thing back to back. Now, Florida proved it's hard to go back to back, but we'll turn the board over to you, Parlay, and let you just roll and rave about your Wolverines.
Hey man, it was a good game, but the first half we couldn't throw a rock in the ocean. But they played big, and then they played real good on defense because UConn wasn't hitting shots either. So, and I'm proud of Yaks the way he played, even though he was hurt. You know what I mean? Even though he was hurt, I'm still proud of how he played and got out there. He kept it real on the halftime speech. He said, "I'm hurt." He said, "You know what I mean?" He said, "I'm hurt. I ain't playing well." You know, he came back out, hit a couple shots, but our size we was real demanding with our size. And that's what brung us home with that size, man. And then Cadeau, man, shout out Cadeau, man. He been having like kind of like a rough tournament. He was probably like what, 5 for 12, but he hit key shots when it had to be made. Our true freshman, Trey McKinney, he hit a big 3 at the end that sealed it. And I'm proud of this team, man. We got the #1 rated point guard coming in next year. You know, so Dusty May is he a hell of a coach. All them dudes was all Portal players. The starting 5 was Portal. You know, so this Portal was a big thing, man. You know, we got to talk about that. I seen Trump saying something about the Portal. But we got to talk about that big time.
Yeah, hey, Elliot Cadeau, I don't feel like he had a bad tournament. I just don't think he shot the ball as good as he wanted to. But as far as controlling the game, man, he controlled that game, man. He controlled that game. He pushed the rock when he posed to. He applied pressure on the defense. He nice.
Yeah, he was a point guard. You know what I mean? He played point guard. You know, he didn't shoot it from 3 well, like you said, but he played point guard, and I like that in it. Cause LJ Casey thought it was gonna be a drop off because he was the dude that come and get the motor started. You know, but when he got hurt with the ACL, everybody counted us out. But they played good last night.
You think McKinney returning, or you think he gonna go to the draft?
I think he need 1 more year, but you know how in NBA they draft off of potential. I seen Swain. He going to the NBA. He going to the draft. Swain is. I seen that today.
Yeah, see, guys like that, I think you might want to test the water, but you probably should keep your eligibility just in case until the process get all the way through. You know, don't give up your amateurism.
Anderson from Texas Tech declared for the draft too. We'll get into some of that here in a few minutes. Well, you had mentioned that they couldn't make shots, Michigan, in the first half. But what saved Michigan, I think, in the first half was UConn Michigan was in the double or in the bonus with like 8 minutes left in the game in the first half, if not more. They were in the bonus fast. And so even though you were missing shots, you'd get a cheap foul or a hand check or something, and you at the line shooting free throws. And there's 2 points right there. So that really helped Michigan a lot in my mind was the foul trouble that your size made. I'm not saying it was bad reffing. I'm saying the size of Michigan forced the fouls.
Yeah.
Man, you know how many people I heard talking about how much it was bad reffing. I was like, we don't blame the refs where I come from. You know, it's called playing defense without fouling. Don't try to discredit that team for winning that game and trying to blame it on the refs, man. I cussed a couple people out about that.
Anybody that is blaming the ref, this ain't going to be the shows for y'all, because every team gets bad calls against them. Ohio State's had them, Michigan's had them, A&M's had. We've all had them against us. We've all had them for us.
Yeah.
Nobody cheered. Nobody gets there and complaining about, oh, that's a bad call for us. We need to take that penalty away. That wasn't hold. You know, you gonna take the penalty and move the 10 yards or whatever. So it's don't come in here blaming refs and stuff for that. I don't agree with that stuff. So with those two getting done, this popped into my mind because to me these were dominant runs by both of these teams. Michigan was just killing people in the tournament. I mean, they destroyed Arizona, who everybody thought was, the best team all year long. And UCLA, I mean, they're going into next season on like a 31, 32, 33 game winning streak. And they just crushed people. Everybody they played, they crushed. I mean, what UCLA did in the Final Four was really dismantled Texas and South Carolina was really, really impressive. So it kind of made me think of some of the great runs of the past in the NCAA tournament, and how would you rank these with like your back in the day you had your UNLV team with Larry Johnson and all them, how they were just crushing people. To me, Bane, where do you put this? Is this one of the most dominant runs on both sides by the women and the men?
Yeah, listen, man. This Michigan team probably historically has probably been one of the most dominant teams we see, even with 3 losses. They've been beating everybody this year by 30 and 40 points. You had your hiccups, but for the most part, I'm curious, like, how many times did they win games by 20 plus points? It got to be like 10 or 15 games. They've been whooping on people all year long. So this probably, like, just off the top of the head, this got to be one of the most dominant teams we done seen probably since Villanova in 19 or something like that. Before then, we got to go to the early 2000s maybe. But yeah, this is definitely one of the most dominant teams. And it's crazy to think that, because with this transfer portal team, you'll think more teams will be more well balanced and more even and just stacked. But bro, like, clear cut, we was talking about Duke all year, and some of these other teams that was at the top, but like top to bottom, Michigan, if you look at their team, they had 8 legit dudes that could probably start at almost any program in the country. No other team had that. So, from just off the top, man, I can't really think of too many more dominant teams.
Yeah, I think they was dominant too. Especially like the first early on too. Everybody was like, "What happened to this team later on?" Because they was beating Gonzaga, they beat Auburn, everybody by like 30 and 40. But then later when they got into the Big Ten, they was just beating them for like 10 to 15 points. But I think this was dominant of Michigan and UCLA. UCLA was beating women like that too. They was beating teams like that too. UCLA, and they had a good. I like their coach, man. She can coach. UCLA's coach, she can coach, and she throw it down to that big girl Betts, man. Like they wasn't afraid to do that, and then throw it back out to the one little young lady. She hit the 3. That's the one who really killed South Carolina, because they was trying to leave her open like she couldn't hit that shot, and they beat up on South Carolina. Yeah, I think both of these is dominant. I'd say like top 5 for each.
Yeah, I agree. They were both dominant to me, to the point that I don't really know if I've seen that kind of domination. Probably not in the men's game in a while. I don't know that I've seen a team do that in the Final Four on the women's side in forever. But kudos to UCLA winning their first one and Michigan winning another one.
Yeah.
You look at somebody like me with my name, and it kind of hurts me that it's all the Big Ten. But kudos to the Big Ten, Florida, the Big Three. Gotta give credit where credit is due. We got the transfer open today, which there's already been some big names hit it. Do y'all hear an echo?
Yeah, I hear echo.
Yeah, I hear it.
All right, let me real quick. Here's the top 5. I'm going to try to disconnect and reconnect real quick.
Yeah, they try to say the dude for Wisconsin wanted $5 million.
What dude?
The guard for Wisconsin, he just jumped in the portal.
It's a bidding war, Poe.
Huh?
It's all a bidding war.
Yeah, it is. It is. Like $5 million though? Come on, man.
This was just that was just UF. This was just from UF today.
Yeah, I'm about to try to leave out. I don't know if it's on my end or not.
I'm hearing a serious echo. Bluetooth.
Yeah, you still hear it?
Okay.
Yeah, you still hear it?
I can hear now. I just disconnected my AirPod.
Okay.
So I don't know. I don't know why. It's getting feedback from somebody else. Because now I'm hearing myself when I talk.
Yeah, it might be me.
So yeah, still got it. Trying to figure it out. Okay. Can you hear me, Zay?
Yeah, I can hear you. I was just waiting to be added to the stage. I can't.
Yeah.
I ain't in the thing. But the Badunga dude from Kansas. I know my Buckeyes is after him. I think he played forward or center or so. We definitely need one of them dudes. But these other guys, man, I ain't.
Yeah.
Juke Harris, I ain't really familiar with him. I'm hip to the guard from St. Mary's. He nice. He looking for a big payday for sure. Somebody gonna give him $2 million. I think this is just a fresh off the press type
It
of
is.
ranking right here. We about to see a whole bunch of guys hit the portal now that it's open. This is just the world we live in.
Since this came out, I know for a fact that Ruben Dominguez, the kid from A&M, our sharpshooting 3-point specialist, he's already entered the portal, which kind of took me by surprise. But some of these names are definitely going to change. I know Blackwell has entered the portal, but he's also looking to check his draft stock.
Okay.
So he's going to see if his draft stock is high enough, he'll go to the draft. If it's not, he'll go in the portal. But that Bigunga guy, he is Moss said he thinks he's got to Connecticut, I think, or one of those. I know Kansas got 4 players went in the portal.
Hey, so one player I don't even see on this list. I don't understand how he not in the top 5. Are y'all hip to PJ Haggerty from Kansas State?
He was like number 7 on their list.
He didn't average 20 for 3
I
years
know.
in college basketball, and he not even in the top 5. I don't even know
Right.
how to take this list serious.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean,
Yeah, somebody
Me-
gonna pick him up that's ultra
Right.
competitive. He gonna lead a top 10 team in scoring next year. Mark my words. He
Right.
probably the best dude in the portal right now. But I guess if he a junior, you know, they probably basing it off of draft status and what they thinking about for pros, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be curious where Devin Royal. Where you got a list pulled up? Where is Devin Royal at?
let me pull it up real quick. He wasn't even in the top like 20.
Nah, I wouldn't expect him to be. I expect him to be in the top 50 though.
He
You
probably
could find good players down there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Did Mobley jump in the portal?
No, Mobley put his name in the NBA draft, but he kept his status to come back. I think he's just trying to get a scouting report.
Okay.
You know, sometimes that's what these dudes do. They be like, all right, let me throw my name in a hat and see what they say I need to work on. Then they come back, work on whatever they need to work on.
Let's see. They've now updated it to the top 50. I'm kind of shocked. I don't know if y'all watch much Georgia, but Somoto was Surreal. Their big defensive stopper down low has entered the portal from Georgia. Bryson Tiller from Kansas is in the portal.
Oh.
Let's see. Yeah. Let's see.
So their coach is coming back, right?
Dominique's son, Jeremiah Wilkinson. Jeremiah Wilkinson's in the portal from Georgia. It's kind of a shock to me. He seemed to love it. Devin Royal, number 36. Right?
Yeah, that ain't bad.
Let's see if any other big names.
He gonna give you 14 and 6.
See if any. Yeah. There's some names on here. Diabate from Arkansas. He's
Yeah.
on there. A couple of Notre Dame guys. Yeah. Haggerty was number 6 on this list.
Seen that. I seen Wagner hopped in that portal too from Arkansas.
Yeah, he's on
yesterday.
there.
He ain't gonna land in the top 50 though, but he a solid point guard. You need somebody to run your
according
offense.
To this list, he was in the top.
He in the top 50?
Yeah, he is number 37.
Not bad. I wouldn't have expected him to be in the top 50, but
Bishop
he probably
Boswell
living
from
off
Tennessee.
that old. He probably living off that old recruiting ranking. You know what I mean? Being a number 1 point guard out of his class.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? He might come back. He probably just won a new. He just probably won a new portal. I mean, a new NIL contract. You know what I mean? He might come back.
Well, but Cal got some guards coming in.
He got the number 2 player in the nation coming. Dude he supposed to have the longest arms they ever seen.
Damn.
Yeah.
But Cal did say if his kid jump in the portal, he don't want them back. He did say that.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, I'd kind of be that way, but I mean, you got that kid coming in. They're definitely going to play that number 2 kid over Wagner. I mean, you're not going to pay him what he needs to come to Arkansas to let him sit the bench and be a backup. Right. It's just not going to happen. So Wagner's probably looking out for his stock moving forward. So we'll see how it shakes out. There's some names out there, and it's only day 1. I would expect by the end of the week we start having some of these people signing. and that's when it's going to kick off. But I'm, I had the question, who are you most, we kind of ran it in there together. Who are you most curious to see where they go? Or is there someone else you want to see where they land? And if there's anybody else you want to kind of see where they go, like Royal or whatever, throw them out there. But I'm really curious about that kid from St. Mary's, that Paulius Morauskas. I really want to see where he goes. He was sick when we played him in the tournament. He was good though, and he was still. I watched a little bit of him when he was not sick, and that kid can go. I like his game a lot.
I want to see some more names jump in here. They got them. They got these dudes graded already. When more dudes jump in the portal, some of these dudes gonna be all the way down on the list. You know what I mean? They're gonna push them more down on that list. So I'm anxious to see the more guys get in the portal.
Right. That's I just knew it opened today, so just kind of a topic to throw out there as a time filler in this whole thing. Is pretty much why it's in there. I did see, which kind of shocked me, that the Tennessee women have lost everybody but one player.
Yep, and they lost the number 2 recruit in the nation.
Right.
So she like, y'all got to let me out of this. I ain't signed up for this.
Right. Yeah, she has to be released from her deal, and I was like, what is going on? I mean, that's one of the storied programs of women's basketball.
Yeah, I'm saying, what is going on down there then?
And I don't know. But
man, people want paydays, man. I think that's the world we live in.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's 100% right. So people are looking for the next big payday, and if you played at Tennessee, another school definitely okay. Well, if they could play at Tennessee, they can play here, and then you get a bump in pay to go to a new school. So that's just the world we live in. You 100% right. I am curious to see when it starts popping off. I'd expect by the end of the week we have a few people hitting, and once a few start hitting, then it's going to go like dominoes because people don't want to be the last and left out.
Yeah,
that's what we built our whole squad at A&M last year out of the portal at the last minute. We got whatever was left over. So hopefully this year's a little bit better.
Yeah, I'm looking at a couple of these bigs, man. We need one of these bigs out of here. My Buckeyes. I see the name. I just pulled up the list. I see the name Bryson Tiller. I know I think he a 7-footer from Kansas. We need one of these bigs.
Go get the 7'9" dude from Florida.
Right. He hadn't entered yet.
Absolutely not. Hey, 7'9", man. Listen. It's cool. You 7'9", man. I got to see how much wiggle he got in his hips and stuff, man. I don't trust no 7'9", bro.
Man, he probably slow as Christmas.
Man, he can't move. His feet in quicksand.
Right.
He got to be fast. He can cover the 94 feet on the court in 3 steps.
Hey, that's a good body to have in practice.
Yeah, it'd be a good practice body, but that's about all. I've seen him play when he's gotten in the spare. It's not pretty.
I know. I've seen him too. It's not good.
Sean Bradley looks like Usain Bolt next to this dude.
I got. He said he looked like Sean Bradley could go though. He was in the NBA. I respect any dude that can make it to the NBA.
I get that, but Sean Bradley wasn't real fast.
Facts.
This dude's slower.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't even know if he's going to enter the portal. He hasn't yet, from what I know.
I think he hit the portal. I think post game has said something about it.
I knew he was talking about it, but I didn't know if he ever finally went or not. So I'll have to try to look him up. He's definitely not in the top 50. I'll tell you
He
that.
ain't gonna be in the top 100. I can almost guarantee you that.
Yeah, it's man.
I don't care how
70.
tall he is.
He trash.
I I hate to say it, but this is one case where size don't matter.
Yeah.
So, you know, um, but he's going to be an interesting watch. He's crazy to look at, but yeah. So next, in the I'm only going to touch on this because I think this is the big name coming out of the women's game is Audie Cooks from Iowa State. Where do you think where do you see her landing? Any prediction you got for her? She's the big fish in the women's sport.
Man,
Man,
judging this. Go ahead, Paul.
I seen her have problems with girls that's taller than her. You know, not the same when they the same build or the same size, whatever. She seemed to have her way with them. But when a girl is lanky and taller than her, she have problems with that. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where she fit in. But Iowa State. But she gonna go somewhere.
Yeah, see, judging where she gonna go is so difficult because you damn near got to change your whole game plan, man. You know,
Yeah.
I said USC just because the thought of it on paper will be fun for me, but I don't really think that's realistic. She had to go somewhere like somewhere that just I don't know, like Iowa, somewhere weird. You know what I mean? Like you just think of it like that's what you chose.
Yeah,
Do you,
like
do you think it's a case of would she go to a decent team for a bigger payday, or would she go looking for a ring? Like, would she go like okay, so say a Texas A&M who had a terrible season this year, but offered her $4 million, and Texas offered her 1.5 million. Would she take the money, or does she want a chance for a title?
But I don't think she gonna have unlimited choices.
I
I
don't
think
either.
it's gonna have to be a coach that is willing to change their whole philosophy for her, or already somewhat in a similar philosophy with it, like putting her in zone 2, 3 zones and stuff, because she can't get up and down like
Yeah,
how a regular, you know, what I mean, rim running big would.
right. Okay, that's a valid point. This came from Moss. This next question asking, no, we're going to change subjects here. Are football schools, traditional football powerhouses, at a disadvantage in basketball regarding the $20.8 million House settlement? And I think what he's trying to get at is you think of your football schools, your Alabamas, even your Texas A&M, whatever, just more of a football school. When it comes to basketball, they're not going to be spending as much on basketball, so does that put them at a disadvantage? My rebuttal to that is look at Kentucky spending 20-something million dollars on a basketball roster that really didn't do much this year.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
they
but their football team is trash.
yeah, sure is.
So, but I listen. I like that question, and I think I'm a good person to answer it because I think my program is one that is hurt from this. We do not put enough money into basketball. And I think that's probably why we didn't go out and get John Calipari because we didn't want to open up the checkbook for basketball. John Calipari, we know he's gonna be in the running to get the best point guard out of each and every class every year. That costs money. Probably whatever Arkansas opened up the pocketbook to pay that dude is probably what my whole roster probably costs. And I don't think Ohio State want to do that. I think they want to just scoot by, you know, make basketball not really a dumpster fire, but scoot by and be just enough competitive, you know. And when they see an opportunity to like really go make a push, they gonna do it.
Yeah. This a good question, man. Like you said. But I think they are at a disadvantage. Like you said, at basketball school. What is North Carolina now though? You know what I mean? Like what is North Carolina? They was a basketball school and now they ain't too good in basketball. Now they got the Hall of Fame coach in football. So how that work? And then they fired their coach. Hubie got fired. So they about to spend some money on Neil again. Because they a football school and they need them number one recruits like they used to get, and they wasn't getting them with Hubie.
Yeah.
You know what, too, though? I was listening to Dusty May talk earlier. I want to say, I don't know if it was on YouTube or ESPN or whatever I was watching. He said he pick up that phone in the off season though and call local businesses. It ain't that the money that these teams is in basketball that they getting ain't just from this money. It's also from that coach calling people to get the money. So, you know, maybe that's a factor into some of these schools, these big time programs like Michigan. Michigan is a big time football program. The basketball program been good for the last couple decades, but I don't know how much money they giving them for basketball out of that 20.8. But I know Dusty is picking up that phone, from what
Yeah,
he said. He picking up that phone and calling these local businesses and telling them to put some money into the basketball. So I think that's a factor too. Do you got a coach that's gonna hit the ground into the community and get some of this money?
yeah. Because Trey McKinney got he got a Chevrolet deal or something. Where, where,
Yeah.
where he where he riding around in the car, him and his dad now. I could tell you it's when he first got there because he still had his dreads. And he don't got dreads no more. So he made that commercial when he first got there, and he riding around in Chevrolet or something, a car commercial. So that's probably something to think about too.
See, I think that's more, that kind of stuff is more in the basketball world than it is the football world, where the coach is out, or the GM in football, whatever they've got over there, is out making these deals. Hey, we want to get this kid at Stevens Chevrolet. We want to go get this kid. Can you help by giving him free car? And
Yeah.
give that to him when he comes in. He'll do a commercial for you or something. But that's the coach getting in front of that too. Or like I said, whoever the general manager of these athletic programs is, or whatever. And in football, it seems to be a little different. Which I mean, I know for sure, like at A&M, and I'm going to assume the same is going to be said for Ohio State. I don't know about Michigan, because I don't know about how y'all doing it, because y'all have good in both, but I know the majority of that 20.8 is going to football at A&M. I know that for a fact, and I'm pretty sure it's the same at Ohio State.
Yeah, it's got to be the same in Michigan too, though. You know what I mean? Like, I
It
would think
probably
that
is.
too.
It probably is, to be honest.
You know, I think I think that we put probably the same amount of money into our women's team that we do our men's team, and I don't think that's necessarily a good recipe for men's basketball. It's cool for the women's basketball team to be at a budget probably around 2 or 3 million, 4 million, somewhere around there, 2 3 million. But these men's team is more expensive than that. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to compete. I think the men's and women's probably split like 5 million. That's my guess.
I could see
Yeah,
that. I could see that, and then the rest pretty much funnels to football.
Yeah, I think football probably get like 13, and then like 2 million go to like just random little
Softball,
sports.
baseball, track,
Then
things like that.
sprinkle it everywhere else.
Yeah, yeah, little sprinkles here. Yeah, I could get that. And then he asked this question, which I don't really know why it's even asked, but I'm gonna put it up there. He said, "Is Michigan a blue blood?"
What?
Yeah, and I'm glad you on, Poe, because I want to see your reaction to this one. But he had said, and let me see exactly how he phrased it. He texted it to me. Let me look it up real quick, and I'll let you know exactly how he phrased it. He said, "Is Michigan now a blue blood?" He said his opinion was yes, because they have 2 titles in 4 years. I thought he
He's
was just
talking about like as a program, then I guess.
right.
Yeah.
Because I was just thinking basketball, and I was like, they haven't got 2 titles in 4 years in basketball.
Yeah.
That's a prominent university. I mean,
Right.
you hear Michigan. If anybody say Michigan Wolverines, you could ask a random person that on the street, and they probably know that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, as far as
Agreed.
notoriety, and you talking about college sports brands, that's one of the biggest college sports
Right.
brands there is. Now, if you wanted to slice the cake, and you'd be like, are they a blue blood in basketball? Now, that's a whole total different question. You know,
Right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily consider them a blue blood. I'm still traditional with it. You got to. I think it takes like half centuries to build like status like that, not just a decade or so. But you know, the Kansas, North Carolinas of the world, the Dukes. These are the Indiana Hoosiers. These are traditional blue bloods, in my opinion. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So, but we already know they're a blue blood in football. That this is what you know. What I mean, this is the university we're talking about.
Right. Yeah. See, that was my take. Was yes in football, hands down. There's no question in football they're a blue blood. Basketball, I could see the argument for. I think they're right outside of blue blood status in basketball. They need a couple more titles, I think.
It's hard to find. It's hard to find that in basketball and football if you slice it like that. You know, usually you dominate at one. Just like the Dukes and stuff. Like you said, Dukes is Kansas and all them. UNLV used to be. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, you think about teams that have won multiple titles. I mean, Florida comes to mind in both sports.
yeah, yeah. Did Florida beat did they play Ohio State 2 times in a row in the national championship?
Nah.
No,
They played us once. That was the
Okay.
year. That was the year after um, Vince Young. Troy
Okay.
Smith won the Heisman that year. Ted Ginn got hurt on the opening kickoff. We was
Yeah.
supposed to blow them out, bruh.
He took it to the house, didn't he?
Yeah, he took it to the crib and we tackled him and he injured something.
Yeah. Yeah.
They ain't had no speed out there ready for him like that. That's why that hurt us. They wasn't ready for his type of speed. We could have probably made it interesting. I ain't saying we would have won, but well, it would have been interesting if we had him.
yeah, but that's a good question to think about, though, is about how many teams could be considered a blue blood in both sports. I mean, that's a really short list.
Yeah.
Tell me one. I
Yeah.
mean, y'all stay in Florida. I give Florida a good case. They got a good case.
They probably got the best case if you're going to do it. I
Yeah.
can't think of another one. I really can't, because Kentucky's terrible in football. Kansas is terrible in football. Maybe
Yeah, Florida probably the only one, man.
UCLA back in the day, maybe. I mean, if you want to go back with the basketball era, but their football team hadn't really carried the weight.
The football team when they had Troy Aikman.
Well, yeah, but that's good Lord. I mean, you're talking in the
Wow.
80s.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That was a while ago.
Yeah, I can't say UCLA. I can't. Any team that I look at on the football side, if I feel like they're notoriously a better team in your state better than you, you are not that. You know what I'm saying? And, yeah, you are not that. USC is notoriously known as a better football program than you. So you're not a blue blood in that sport.
Well,
Yeah.
see it down in it's people would say the University of Texas, but it's not really basketball. It'd be football and baseball.
Yeah. But see, then like them players that come out of Texas though in basketball with Durant now, you know what I mean? TJ Ford now.
Yeah.
So
Durant, Ford, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty good question. I can't really come up with one I would consider just a pure block as a blue blood for both sports. I can't. It's hard. It's hard to do.
Yeah, it's hard to do.
So a little bit for y'all to pound your chests a little bit here at me. The Big Ten's won all
It ain't over yet. It ain't over yet. We still got the team up north in the Frozen. They in the Frozen Final Four, I think.
See, I don't do a lot of college hockey because
I don't either. I just seen it announced during the basketball game, and I was like, "Yeah, let's go, Big Ten." You know, I want the SEC to fall flat, face off the earth. That's all I want.
Now in hockey, you can't do that because we don't really play it. But
Y'all got a hockey team.
Let's get on the track. Oh yeah, we do. But I know like A&M has a club. There's some club hockey teams that are starting to get going down there at the college level. You can thank the Dallas Stars for pumping money into that too. But you won all three of them so far. My question is, and I tried to look this up and there is no answer for it, by the way. Can the Big Ten sweep all five majors, including they've won three? Can they get baseball and softball now and take the whole gamut of it all?
See, I don't know about the softball, but we got a solid chance in baseball with UCLA because they're going to have the number one pick on their team in the MLB draft.
Yeah, they do.
And that's our only chance, though, is UCLA.
Well,
we don't have nobody else. Huh?
USC and Oregon are pretty good.
Yeah, but UCLA is a top 5, 7-ish team in the country.
They're number
Both of them teams are, huh?
They're number one.
Yeah, I knew it was something like that, but from what my understanding, Oregon and USC is not that. And I knew it was all West Coast teams, but they more middle of the pack, like 15 to 20-ish or something like that. So I'm going to bang my hat on that number one pick in that UCLA squad, you know what I'm saying, before I start talking about them boys. But that's the one that's more iffy because I know the women's softball in the Big Ten is very good.
Yeah, for sure. I've seen that UCLA baseball team play. They played my Aggies in Houston in a tournament earlier this season. We were ranked number 18 and UCLA beat us 11-0. And it wasn't that close. The UCLA let the bases loaded like twice in the game. They beat the snot out of us. They're good. They are really scary. I actually could see them winning baseball. The one I don't see you getting is softball. I think softball rolls through the SEC. Oklahoma, Texas. A&M's good. Alabama, Tennessee. They're all. I think the SEC has like 14 of the top 25 or something. It's insane. Big Ten's got some good squads too, though. Michigan's normally got a good squad in softball. But that's the one I can see as far as splitting it up. But I can see y'all winning 4 out of 5, which is hella impressive for one conference. Yeah. Especially in this transfer portal era. That's just crazy to me. So before I get into the last question, I have this popped up earlier, so I'm going to sneak this one in. What are your thoughts on Mendoza not going to the draft?
He said, "Not what?"
He's not going
he
to the
ain't going to
draft.
the draft.
Oh
He's
yeah.
staying at home with his family.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I don't want to see all that crying, bro. I don't want to see it.
Yeah, right. But I mean, any other pick, okay? So say it's one of your Buckeyes, pick one, going overall, going to be the number one pick, one of your Wolverines. Are you cool with him saying, "No, I'm gonna stay home with my family," or would you rather see him
Yeah.
at the draft?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. What's the
I
name, man? Years ago, the big dude from big lineman, I think he was the first pick or whatever, from Wisconsin or somewhere. He went fishing. You know
Yeah,
what I
I
mean?
remember that.
Yeah, he was fishing. You know what I mean? Like,
Hey, I ain't
hey,
got
I'm
no
cool.
problem with people celebrating their accomplishments. That's their accomplishments, however they please. Go ahead.
I heard this. This came up on my way home today on Sirius XM. I was listening to college radio, and Devin Hester was on there talking, and he said when he was drafted, he was sitting there, and when he got drafted, he got a chance to run back and kiss his mom and his grandma and all them, and then they immediately pulled him to go do radio interviews. And then they told him, tell him bye. He ran back and told him, I'll be back tomorrow. They put him in a plane. They put him in a car and drove him straight to the airport to fly to the team that drafted him. He got to spend no time with his family.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So he said he supports it. He's cool with it. Bobby Carpenter's on that show too, by the way. So I'd give you a little shout there because I know you like Bobby Carpenter probably. But he was on there saying, yeah, when he was doing whatever, he was at home and just hanging out with the family, had it catered, and just sitting around doing your own thing so that when the time comes, you get to spend time with your family. So I was curious. It came out. I just kind of want to get everybody's take. I don't have a problem with it at all. Go back a couple years ago. Y'all remember seeing Aaron Rodgers just sitting there by himself, sipping water the whole day?
Yeah.
I mean, nobody want to see that. So I don't have a problem with it at all. But the last question I got is, now that basketball season has ended for college, where do you turn your focus to until college football season cranks up again?
Well, we have here I'm saying I'm turning my focus into a lot of local stuff. We have Columbus Aviators, the football team, that's going to be playing at the Old Crew Stadium, and then it's the Wizards, Columbus Wizards. They play at Audubon, and the tickets is low. I'm gonna try to catch that next game. Go support them. So I'm gonna be doing some local stuff.
For those that don't know, Parlay, not to interrupt, who are the Aviators? We know are the UFL team, but what is the Wizards?
The Wizards is like, they call it pro, but it's like a kind of like a semi-pro basketball team.
Okay.
Where it's a lot of local guys playing, and they play out of state guys at the Audubon. So that's what I'm be. And tickets ain't that much either.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, yep, that gets the word out. Hopefully people watch this can, maybe go check it out. I never heard about it. That's why I was curious what it was, because I'm sure other people don't know it exists either.
Hey man, listen. Football season is year round. Everything comes second to football for real, honestly. We are locked in on the Buckeyes. I don't know. We know I've been focused. I've been waiting till college basketball. Hey, my Sunday show will be straight college football. If y'all college football heads, tune in to the show on Sunday at 9 a.m. It's straight college football.
Straight should have known.
Hey, but nah, listen. The spring game is this month. I already got my tickets. I'll be there. But outside of that, man, I'm locked in on the NBA too, though. man, my Lakers just went through the most brutal week we done had all week, all year. I mean, man, Luca down, Austin Reeves down. We already was out. Marcus Smart. Now LeBron ain't playing tomorrow. Like everybody out. All our ball handlers just went down all like in a consecutive row.
Y'all
It's
got
looking real
Bronny?
bleak. Huh?
Y'all got Bronny?
Man, come on, get him out of here. Hey, if Bron leave, he better take him with him. You hear me?
Man, I see this dude
Hey,
get ripped 2 times in a row.
hey, listen, we played Dallas right like a week ago, and
Yeah.
they had this dude. I can't think of his name. Every time he seen Bronny in front of him, he went straight to the cup and got a bucket.
You know what I mean? Like,
I
man.
was like, man, they don't have no respect for this guy. I was like, we need to get him out of here. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm locked in on the NBA too, man. For real. I love like once the games mean something. So NBA basketball is probably what I'm the most focused on outside of my Buckeyes right now. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely need to tap into whatever Poe was talking about the Wizards. Out of mine. I ain't heard that one yet. I
Yeah.
ain't heard that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, me neither.
Let me ask y'all this question then. Let me ask y'all this question. What you think about Giannis calling out the Bucks? Talking about like he healthy, he want to play.
Oh my God, I love it. Hey, that's that old school mentality, dog. That's what the game need. That's what the game been missing. They done launched a full fledged investigation. They done called the league. They done call him and the owners and the organization down to figure this thing out. I love it. Players
Yeah.
like Giannis, Wemby, and Edwards. These dudes is good for the league, bro, because they not cheating the game. They ain't gonna
Right.
try. They ain't gonna cheat the game. They don't think about if they not playing, they really hurt or something. You feel me? They not gonna cheat the game though.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't cheat the game. You can't do that with a professional. If you're a professional or amateur, you can't cheat the game, man. You can't cheat the game. I think this. You
Nah,
think it's Giannis' last game? You don't think he played another game in Milwaukee
Probably
after
not.
this year?
Yeah, probably not.
nah, this definitely be his last year in Milwaukee for sure.
I think it's too sour.
I
Yeah.
agree. He got to go somewhere. Where?
Yeah.
Who knows? But
I think
I
Ja.
don't
I
think
think
with
Ja
all
out
this
in
coming
Memphis
out,
too.
I don't see any way possible he sets foot back out there with the Bucks. I just don't see it.
I think
Yeah,
Ja out.
they should have been got job out of there, man.
Yeah.
Memphis it's too gritty for his personality. He need to be somewhere where, Utah or something like that.
Yeah. They
Charles
said
Barkley said all the
Memphis.
big women live in Utah.
Yeah.
Send them
They
to
said
Dallas.
yeah. They said Memphis facilities ain't like that either. They said it's trash.
hmm I
Yeah.
did hear that.
Um, yeah, no, that's some good stuff. I mean, I'm that nuthead. I'm not a huge NBA fan. I'll watch it when like my Mavericks are doing good, so that ain't right now. I'm going to tap into some hockey, some hardcore hockey. The hockey playoffs are the best playoffs of all the sports.
I was just watching Philly and New Jersey.
The Blue Jackets are tied 2-2 right now. They really need to get this win over Detroit to keep rolling. That and I'm a big baseball guy. I'm not as much pro. I love college baseball, so I'll tap into a bunch of that. And of course, y'all know where I'll be on weekends. I'll be at the races. So
Yeah.
I got plenty to keep me busy. Luckily our off week for NASCAR was last week, so now we go 4 months straight. Every weekend we racing for 4 months. So that'll hold me over till football season cranks up. Yep. Y'all got anything else?
I don't.
Zay, you got nothing? Wow. All right. Well, we appreciate everybody tuning in the chat. We had some chat. Lawrence Whitmore, Level Up Sports, Doug popped off. we had some good little chats popping over there. So I appreciate
Yeah, I'm just
everybody.
happy I seen Poe up on here, man.
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta come
Yeah.
get some of this medicine, man.
Yeah.
This is medicine, man.
Yeah, you already
Yeah,
know. You already know. You already know.
Yeah.
It's coming. It's coming.
I was for sure
Hey,
hoping Poe was gonna pop on
thi-
for tonight.
yeah, hey, this was like a pre-grand opening.
Yeah.
You know,
Hey, so what Moss doing his thing tomorrow? Or what?
Usually he did. Typically they do a Wednesday night show, the What If show. I don't know. I don't know what his schedule look like if he gonna be able to do it tomorrow, but he should be. He ain't said he wasn't able to do it, so he should be up here tomorrow. I like that show. That
Yeah.
show fire.
If he's not able to go tomorrow, I'm probably gonna jump on tomorrow and steal that spot with my. I'll probably go on earlier than 7:45 though, and roll my weekend preview out. If he's not gonna go, if he's gonna go, then obviously I'll leave it for him. But if he's not available to go, then I'm gonna jump in and do my preview for the race weekends.
Okay.
So we'll have something on here tomorrow for sure, one way or another. And then I'm pretty sure normally Post takes Thursdays with his stuff. I don't know what he's got planned. I won't be on Thursday. I'll be getting prepped. My son and daughter-in-law and my twin granddaughters are coming into town this weekend. So
Yeah, Post Gang got a fire show too. To check it or respect it. We know
yeah,
that
one's fire. That and his mock drafts are pretty hard too. So
Alrighty.
I mean, y'all see everything scrolling down at the bottom down there. All of us, One Take Zay right there with his podcast. Y'all already know Sunday. Get on with him because if you're a college football head, that's where you need to be right there. Sundays with him. Poe down here, we're gonna get him. He need to crank back up here shortly.
Yeah. Yeah.
He definitely
Yeah,
gonna be. He's gonna be harder to keep quiet now because he's gonna probably be wearing a championship hat, a championship hoodie, a championship sweater.
Yeah, I know. It's coming. It's already ordered.
I bet it is. We got Rob, WTP for Life, the one that put all of us together. You got Moss, Level Up Sports 10. You got Post Game, y'all heard us mention with a Post Game 86 podcast. He's going to be around popping some stuff. You got who we got? City League T1 doing some local stuff. Get with T1. Get him over there with them Wizards. Get him to post some of that stuff. I mean, that can't hurt nothing. I mean,
and don't forget the WTP Sports Dudes website. Make sure y'all go check that out as well.
For sure. You can find me SEC Sean here, TikTok, Patreon. You can find me Spotify, all of it. With my NASCAR podcast, especially. WTPSportsDudes.com. We got WTP Sports Dudes 2026 on Spotify is the podcast. All these are uploaded to the podcast. You've got them on Patreon, WTP Sports Dudes. I got some things in works. I'm going to get with Robert when he gets back. We're going to start talking about getting some stuff together to try to figure out how to do some giveaways for any paid subscribers to our Patreon account. I'm giving paid stuff. I'm giving autographs away on my NASCAR one from drivers that I'm giving away for paid members. So check us out. You can find us. You search WTP Sports Dudes, YouTube. You can find us. You can find ways to get to us, our other avenues too, but definitely check out our website. There's always some good questions. Drop your questions, comments too, folks. Like, share, subscribe. We stay in tune. We'll answer your questions, comments. You want us to ask, you want us to talk, you got a question, throw it out there. We'll talk about it. No matter what it is, we'll talk about it. What else you got?
All right. Shit, we out.
Yep, we out there.
Peace. Go Blue.